This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, miniatures, and paints, discount prices at miniaturemarket.com.
Hey everybody, it's your old pal Ron. Well, as I was laid up, and still, I'm about a week or so out before we can really do some things. I was laying there thinking, you know, some of the things that we were talking about getting our old GW stuff out. And of course, Space Hulk being one, a classic, you can play it a million times, make up your own things. And as I always say, there's plenty of homebrew stuff out there. But I started thinking about, you know, this game is basically the old, you know, we watched the movie and we always feel it's aliens because of the gene stealers. But what if we took the aliens game, which is fine, there's nothing wrong with it, and kind of mashed these together? And I started thinking of ways that I could take out some of the things that I didn't like about aliens and add it to my Space Hulk, and maybe even mix the two universes in some way. And I came up with something, and I want to share it with you. But the most important thing about this is an open book here. And using this video with my basic ideas, or maybe you have something even better, I would love your input, is what I like to do is maybe if you see something that you think would be a little bit better, put it in the comments, of course. But I've come up with something, I've tried it a little bit, and I really like it. And it made me think how good aliens would be in a Space Hulk, as well as maybe even mixing the two universes together and doing something a little out of the ordinary. So I'm going to go down to the table. I'm going to show you some of the ideas I have. And then if you see something, please put it in the comments. Let me know. And if we could put this together a little bit, hopefully within 7 to 10 days, when I'm at least at 75%, we'll run a scenario. Because I have a scenario in my head. We'll implement some of the rules. Maybe we'll throw out some of the rules that I talk about here. And we will do this and just give you an open book where we can start doing things. And like I said a couple weeks ago, this was something I really wanted to do. Let's go down to the table and check it out, as we're going to start using all this GW stuff. And be positive. Okay, so I'm going to try to explain this nice and easy. There's a couple of things I really like about both systems, and of course you know how much I love Space Hulk. It's one of my favorite games of all time. But incorporating this game here, I really think that you can do a lot of really neat things. Now what you're going to want to do is, two of your guys I think you would want to have as your leader, and then you have grunts, of course. But the only things that you're going to use from here is their speed. Okay, tech, which we're going to be interacting. We want to do more things where we interact with stuff. And this number here, which is aim, which is very crucial. Okay, and using these, I really think is really good. For instance, you know, another thing, a thing that I want to bring up here. Okay, say we have Ripley here, and she has 7 aim. So I want to give you a rundown of how combat would work. You would, depending on your weapon, because you're going to be using the basic weapons, it's going to be 1d10. And it's 7 to 10 to hit. A critical being 10. Okay? Which is and no matter, even if you jam, if you hit a 10, you are going to be able to do that. Rolling a d10 and a 1, you're going to be able, and as you can see, we rolled a 10 there. It would be a hit, and it would kill the alien. The thing that I really like about this, about the aliens game, and I really think that works, is sometimes when you spawn, you have to come out and get a bunch of guys and spawn them backwards. That I don't like, that is different in Space Hulk, is that when you turn over and you see a blip, if there's more than one, you would have to spawn them this way. I think these tokens are ingenious. So I want to incorporate them into this game, and everything that is in a particular spawn stays in the same space. So even though she may have killed this guy, this token is going to go away, and that guy's going to be there. Because if you remember the xenomorphs, they crawl on walls and stuff like that and stick together. One thing I decided not to do was be able to combine blips. So if this blip and this blip was here, where you had 4 here and 1, you couldn't combine this to make it 5. They have to stay separate. That's the only little caveat, because I don't want you to be able to combine 12 massive, and it takes away from what you're trying to do here. And that's make an experience here. So keeping the not being able to combine, I think, is a smart thing. The other thing that I want to press upon is how this works. Now, if you remember over here, we shot and we killed. Our aim number is the number of actions that we're going to have. Instead of rolling for command points, we're going to be using this. So, for instance, a shot is going to cost 1. Overwatch, I want to change and have it cost 1, but you're only allowed 2 shots. 2 shots, and you have to roll and hit. If you jam, for instance here, if we roll, even though we hit, we jammed, we do not hit the target, but that is going to cost us, and we're going to have to unjam and then fire again. So you're going to be using your aim points for your entire turn. Now, moving is a free action. Whatever movement speed you have is 4. So for instance here, we come around the corner, 1, 2, 3, 4. That is our speed, and this is where we're going to go. But we can use only 2 command points to move 2 extra sections. You don't want people buzzing around this thing too fast. So making it a command point where you can use up to 2 just for movement will help you. And then, of course, we have our Overwatch tokens. I'm also thinking, and the way this works for me, is making sure that you have your cards, but you're only allowed 3 cards to start. And because of this fantastic little thing with all the terminals that you can pick up also, actually I have 2 of them, you can make crates, and we can add certain armors in there, so you can add armors. I'm thinking of an XP thing, but I'm not going to, I want to get the basics done. Face huggers are going to be interesting. And also turrets. Again, that's where you're going to be using your tech. If you are next to, and I have different tech, and we would put it in rooms. If we have somebody that comes up here and uses the tech, you have to roll under 6. Just like in the game. 5. So now they can use whatever actions that they have on their dial to perform whatever tech, whether closing doors, opening doors, turrets. Why not use the Space Hulk little robot to go around and have that kind of scout and shoot things, which is kind of cool. The only weapon that I want to jack up a little bit is this here. This gives you a better chance of hitting. And as you fire, you're going to roll the 2d10 and then try to roll over that number. But, as you can see, we got a 9. Boom, we're going to drill that. And then, you know, they would use another action here. And then fire again. Okay, you got it. Boom. So 7, 8, 9, 10. That makes that a powerful weapon. But if you ever jam, it's going to cost you a little bit more. You're going to have to do 2 to unjam the bigger weapon. Okay, so that'll cost you a bit. Flame, there are flamer cards in here, and like I said, there are things that you can do. Body armor, which I really think is brilliant. It'll give you a save roll. So on a 9 or 10, if you get into a fight, you're going to roll, and well, you rolled a 1. Guess what? You're going to die anyways. But I would use that so you have some kind of protection, especially in close combat. Now, close combat, I would keep it pretty much kind of simple. And let's face it, if you get in close combat with the aliens, you are not going to win that much. They get +2 to their claws, So you're going to roll a D10 versus a D10. And yes, that's nice that Ripley got a 9, but guess what? You add 2 to that, and you've got a 10. Well, Ripley, it was nice knowing you. Okay. Blips. Blips are going to come in on numbered areas. And if you happen to have the card motion tracker, okay, you decide to use it, it's an action. You have to use it as an action. Okay. So you would take your clicker, roll it down, and then roll on your tech. So say Corporal Dwayne Higgins has a tracker, and everything is numbered. And what you're going to do is you are going to roll to see where the next blips are going to come in. This could be used as a tactical advantage. So if you're able to do it, he wasn't able to do it. So being able to scan, he wasn't able to scan. But let's just say for all intensive purposes that he rolled a 4 and he passed his tech. Well, guess what? Now, if there are 2 spawns coming out, we would roll those and determine where those spawns are going to come before they come out the alien's turn. It could be used for a tactical advantage as you're trying to go through the Space Hulk and commit to anything else. Egg rooms, I'm working on some of the scenarios there. Flamers, like I said, you're going to be able to assign a flamer, and I think we kind of use it almost the same way, but as they come through it, the aliens, as they come through, they do have a chance to survive on a 10, on a critical, which of course he does survive and he can move on. You will only be able to lay down one per turn, and I'm not too sure about as far as I actually was thinking of using more the rule that it hits on a 7 or less, and that they can go through it because they're pretty tough. So I think I'm going to stick with that. I was going to change it to a critical where they save, but you have to roll, and if they go into that space, if they roll a 7 or less, they are going to die. Grenades are a last chance thing. Okay. You've got one thing on a 6 on a 4 or more. You get into hand-to-hand combat. You can choose a suicide where you're going to drop a grenade, and if you're able to roll higher than that before close combat, you can take both people out. I think you can also what I was thinking of is a range of 3 that you can throw a grenade. And like I said, on a 4 or more, see you later. And like I said, body armor and things like that. But being able to find things in crates also, maybe and assigning to your group only 2 cards. Okay, a main weapon and either a secondary weapon, a motion detector, grenades, or excuse me, my voice starts to go, I'm still suffering through, or a secondary weapon where you can pull that out maybe as an emergency. I'm still working on some of the weapon parts of this, but I really think that being able to use these here really make a big difference, and using the tech roll can really enhance things. But every time you try something, you have to be able to pay for it, and let these aliens just run wild and let them go crazy. On your basic side here, as you can see, your speed is going to be pretty good. I think you take the defense out unless you have armor, and just giving a weapon and an equipment and possibly a secondary equipment if you find something, or if you're a specialist of some sort. Ignoring everything else, your aim and your tech is going to be your basic command points and help you through and assign different people strategically. And having 1 or 2 commanders, depending on a higher side, which will be able to do things. I think the key is being resourceful on how you use this, not overusing the cards. And then, boy, I'm working on it, and I'm telling you right now, how would you like to see a mashup with these two guys going after each other? You know, and then having the humans in there doing trying to do a secondary objective. The possibilities are endless to what you can do here and how you do it. These blips, I think, because a lot of them have higher numbers, you know, some of them have 4, really makes it, and 5, which makes it very, very aggressive and tough. Movement, shooting. In the times I've used it, it's been pretty balanced so far. I've had times where the aliens won. I've had times where the crew have won. And just keeping it simple and balanced. Again, like I said, there are a myriad different ways to do this and incorporate different things and make this a lot of fun. The jams, believe it or not, you jam when you least expect it. You jam on a 1, by the way. Okay? And just a lot of fun and possibility, taking some of your old stuff and bringing it to life along with this new fantastic game, which does all kinds of things. Bosses, objectives as destroying egg rooms, finding artifacts or important equipment to lead to why this is happening, and so forth and so on. Enough powerful weapons where you could possibly run 2, and making it smart and balanced. And I think you can do that. So let me know what you think. Let me know how you think about this. And what did I do wrong? What could I do better? And incorporate these 2 games and just have a lot of fun. And isn't that what it's all about? Fun. What can I say? Until next time, it's your old pal Rob. Take this, run with it, have some fun, put it in the comments, let me know what you think. Now, as you saw, I gave you a rundown, I gave you a basic, I gave you the foundation of what was going through, you know, the wheels up here. Not always works, but you know, we got some very brilliant people in our audience and in our community, and I really look forward to seeing what you guys come up with. I think that we can implement some of this stuff, take some of the clunky, make it nice and smooth, make it easy, and just have a lot of different types of fun. I think the Gene Stealers versus the Aliens thing with the Marines caught in the middle gives you a little bit of that Predator feel of that other game. You know, instead of Gene Stealers, you put the Predators in. But I really want to mess with that. Maybe even introduce some, you know, some Space Hulk guys, some Terminators, some Space Marines, and figure out, instead of Terminators, maybe just go Space Marines, and make it a little interesting and a little outside the box, and just have some fun with it. There's a lot of different things we can do with this. I like the D10 system better than the D6, believe it or not, and keeping a little essence of Space Hulk in there really kind of adds to it. These clickers here, I really think, are key because it limits you, but also gives you a little bit, and then also not overdoing the movement. You know, it takes away command point rolls, you know, because you never know what you're going to get, but it also, it can help you and it can hurt you. So, you know, I'm really kind of interested. I'm also thinking of writing up more equipment. If you guys come up with some equipment, that would be really cool. And then, you know, as far as bosses, the Queen, you know, and different types of equipment that we can put in here. You're only limited by your imagination. Now, maybe you like some things, maybe you don't. Let me know in the comments. I'm always have an open ear, but this is something I'm very excited about. Let's see what we can do with it. Until next time, it's your old pal Rob. We'll see you soon.